You think you know what a quant trader does. You picture some genius sitting in front of 8 monitors, algorithms running, millions printing while he sips a black coffee at 4 a.m. Half right. The reality is messier, colder, and way more brutal than anything you've been told. I'm going to walk you through every level. From the student grinding LeetCode code at midnight, convinced he's about to change finance, all the way to the guy running a billion-dollar book who hasn't felt stress about money in a decade. Each level thinks the one above it has it figured out. None of them do. Here's what it actually looks like. You're 19, maybe 20. You've just discovered quantitative finance exists and your brain breaks open. You're a math or CS major. You're decent at calculus. You just read a Medium post about Renaissance technologies and you are absolutely convinced you are the next Jim Simons. You've downloaded Python. You've built a moving average crossover strategy in a weekend. It backtested 300% returns. You're ready. You don't know yet that your backtest has look-ahead bias. You don't know what look-ahead bias is. You're in the most dangerous phase of this entire journey, confident enough to start, clueless enough to get destroyed. Your day is class, gym, grinding Kaggle competitions, reading r/algo trading at 2 a.m., applying to every quant internship in the country and hearing nothing back. Every quant firm has a standard recruiting process. You either come from a top 5 school with a 4.0 or you're a competition medalist. Those are the 2 paths in. You're starting to realize this isn't a meritocracy. It's a filter system designed by people who went through the same filter. Salary, 0. Your parents think you're studying finance. You're actually memorizing the Black-Scholes formula at 1 a.m. What separates people at this level isn't intelligence, it's obsession. The ones who get through are the ones who can't stop. You got the internship. Citadel, 2 Sigma, Jane Street, Optiver. Pick one. You're 21 years old and you feel like you've won. First week, imposter syndrome hits like a truck. You're surrounded by people who competed in the International Math Olympiad. The intern next to you published a paper on stochastic calculus at 17. You got here because you crushed your data structures interview, and you're starting to wonder if that was a mistake. The work is real. You're not making coffee. You're writing production code, running statistical analyses, sitting in meetings where people casually discuss strategies that move markets. You get $10,000 a month. $10,000 as an intern. You send your parents a photo of your first paycheck and they think it's fake. But here's the thing nobody tells you. The summer is an extended audition. Every conversation, every line of code, every question you ask, it's all being evaluated. They're not teaching you, they're watching you. The ones who get return offers aren't the smartest ones. They're the ones who ask the right questions, iterate fast, and make their manager's life easier. Smartest person in the room who can't communicate their ideas? Gone. What separates you at this level? Execution speed and intellectual humility. You got the full-time offer, you're 22, you're in New York, London, or Chicago, you have a $150,000 base salary plus a signing bonus. You feel rich. You're not rich yet, but you feel it. Year 1 is an education you could never buy. You're placed on a desk, could be systematic equity, fixed income ARB, options market making, HFT. You didn't choose, you were assigned. Your day starts at 7 a.m. Markets open at 9:30. You're running pre-market checks, verifying models haven't drifted, scanning for anomalies in overnight data. If something breaks, you fix it. Fast. The culture shock is real. Everything moves fast. Communication is clipped. Nobody explains context. You're expected to figure it out. Questions are fine, but you better have read everything first. You're not running strategies yet. You're supporting them. You're the plumbing, writing the scripts that process data, the monitors that catch bugs, the reports that land on your manager's desk every morning. It's unglamorous. You expected to be trading. You're writing bash scripts at midnight. But here's what's actually happening. You're learning what real infrastructure looks like. Most people who try to build their own quant systems don't understand why things break. You're starting to understand. Bonus at end of year 1, 50 to 150,000, depending on desk performance. You think it's a lot? Wait. What separates you at this level? Depth over breadth. Master your desk. Don't job hop yet. Year 3, maybe year 4. You're 25 to 27 years old. Something shifted in year 2 that nobody warned you about. You stopped waiting to be told what to do. You started identifying problems before they were problems. Your manager started listening instead of directing. You have a specialism now. Maybe you own a signal research pipeline. Maybe you redesigned the execution algorithm that saves the desk $2 million a year in slippage. Maybe you built the risk system everyone else relies on. The money is getting serious. 200 to 400,000 total comp. Some years more. You bought your first apartment. You're not paycheck to paycheck. You're building. The work is harder because the problems are harder. Easy Alpha was mined years before you arrived. You're working on things that are genuinely unsolved. 80% of your ideas fail. That's normal. The 20% that work fund everything. You also start to understand the machine you work inside. Politics, desk dynamics, who decides budgets, who gets credit, who protects their alpha, and who shares it. It's not the meritocracy it looked like from the outside. The mid-level is where most quants plateau. They get comfortable. The money is good. The work is familiar. They stop shipping ideas and start defending the ones they shipped before. The ones who don't plateau are building a thesis, a worldview, a bet on what the market hasn't figured out yet. What separates you at this level? Intellectual ownership. It's your idea or it isn't. Year 7, maybe year 8. You're 28 to 32 years old. Most people don't make it here, not because they got fired, because they left. Better opportunity, burned out, started a company, went to tech. You stayed. Either because the money kept pace or because you genuinely love the problem. Senior quants are the people firms are built around. You're not just an individual contributor anymore. You're a force multiplier. Junior quants get faster because of you. Research pipelines improve because of you. The desk takes more risk because your track record supports it. Your comp, 500,000 to 1.5 million total. Most of it is bonus, which means it swings. A bad year for the firm cuts your bonus in half. A great year doubles it. You have leverage now. Not financial leverage, human leverage. You can move to a competitor and take your alpha with you. Firms know this. It's why senior quant retention is expensive. But the game changes at this level in a way nobody prepares you for. You're not just a researcher anymore. You're a political operator. Budget conversations, headcount decisions, cross-desk conflicts. Managing up. Managing a team you didn't hire and didn't choose. The hardest part of senior level. Shifting from doing to enabling. Your entire career, you were rewarded for being the person who solved things. Now, you're rewarded for being the person who makes other people solve things faster. Some people can't make that switch. They stay senior individual contributors forever. That's not a failure. Those are some of the most valuable people in this industry. But it is a choice. What separates you at this level? The ability to build something that outlives your direct contribution. Depending on the firm, this is either a promotion or an entirely different job. At a multi-manager hedge fund, Millennium, Citadel, Point72, the PM structure is everything. You're given a book, a pool of risk capital. Your job is to generate alpha with it. You keep a percentage of the P&L. That percentage is your life. Year 1 as a PM is terrifying. You've spent your career as a researcher or senior individual contributor. Now you own the outcome. Not the model, not the research, the outcome. Markets are going sideways. Your strategy is slightly down. Your drawdown has hit the soft stop. You're having a conversation with your risk manager that feels like a performance review with a loaded gun on the table. If you blow up, you're out. The multi-manager world has no loyalty to losing books. They're capital allocators. You're a return generator. Stop generating returns, stop getting capital. The comp upside is life-changing. A good year, 2 to 10 million. A great year, more. You're calculating your cut on a whiteboard and the numbers stop feeling real. But you're also working 60 to 70 hours a week, sleeping with your phone next to the bed. You haven't taken a real vacation in 2 years. Your kids know your face from photos. The mental weight is different from anything you felt before. The buck stops with you. No manager to blame. No team to hide behind. What separates PMs who survive? Risk management first. Alpha generation second. The ones who reverse that priority don't last. You did something most people in this industry only ever talk about. You left. Maybe it was after Citadel, maybe it was 2 Sigma, maybe it was after your second year as a PM where you made $8 million for the fund and kept $400,000, and you did the math. Starting a fund is not a promotion, it's a restart. You're not a quant anymore, you're a CEO. You're raising capital from investors who care about your Sharpe ratio, your max drawdown, and whether your strategy is correlated to their existing book. Year 1, your own money. Maybe $20 million from a couple of family offices. You're running lean. 1 developer. Your infrastructure is embarrassingly simple compared to what you left, but it's yours. 3 years in, if you've survived, you have a track record. You're managing 2 to 500 million. Fee structure, 2 and 20. You're making decisions that affect your entire team, not just yourself. The ones who reach this level and stay here have something the earlier levels don't. They've made peace with uncertainty. Not controlled it, not eliminated it, made peace with it. This is the level where the work stops being about the money. You already have enough. It's about the problem, the game, the next edge. Here's what every level has in common that nobody talks about. Every person at every level, the intern, the senior quant, the PM with a $500 million book, thinks the level above them has it figured out. They don't. This industry doesn't get easier as you climb. The problems get bigger. The stakes get higher. The margin for error gets smaller. What actually separates people across every level isn't IQ. It isn't even work ethic. It's the ability to keep learning after you've started winning. Most people stop learning when they feel successful. The quant who peaked at senior level and spent the next decade defending it. The PM who had 1 great year and stopped evolving. They're everywhere. The ones who compound, who go from intern to PM to founder, they stay in student mode regardless of their title. Jim Simons ran one of the most successful funds in the history of finance. He was still working on new models at 80 years old, still running experiments, still obsessing. Not because he needed the money, because when you find the game you're meant to play, you don't stop playing it. So figure out your level, accept what it actually requires, do the work the level above you is doing before you're there. And don't fool yourself. This career will take everything you give it and ask for more. The question isn't whether you can handle that, it's whether you want to.